Good morning, traders. This is Jim Comiskey coming to you live from Archer Daniels Midland Investment Services. It is currently Friday, March the 2nd, about 9:15 or so. I'll give you some commentary on the metals complex, amongst other things. Okay, there's just so much to talk about and so little time. I think I'm going to do at least two, maybe three rants today. Anyways, the gold, I hope you can hear me okay. I kind of reconfigured things. Gold is currently down $9.90 to $17.12.30. Okay, the low is $17.05.40. I'd be buying gold basically right here. If you're taking my trade rec, please use tight stops. Okay. The silver is right at its 200-day moving average. It's at 34.90 and a half May basis. Okay, 34.90 is the 200-day in silver. I'd be stacking here. Okay. Many things to talk about. First of all, if you want a good laugh, TurboTax Tim had another op-ed in the Wall Street Journal today. This is classic. First of all, I'm going to go take Tyler Durden's read. Shout out to Zero Hedge, as always. Love the site. Okay, I'm just going to read this word for word, okay? For nearly 2 years after his catastrophic foray into op-ed writing, here is Tim Geithner's latest, this time making the hypocritical case to not forget the lesson from the financial crisis, which he himself ushered on America as head of the New York Fed. Frankly, we are quite sure it's not even worth reading this drivel. The unemployed man walking has been a total disaster during his entire tenure at both the New York Fed, where he supervised all the banks that subsequently fell, and at the Treasury. And we're fairly confident that reading anything written by, well, this gets pretty nasty, by this pathological failure will cause collective IQs to drop by 10 points at a minimum. Hey, Tim, is there any risk the U.S. might get downgraded? All right, now I'm going to go read a little bit from the op-ed. Okay, this is just, it really is, it's worth picking up the journal just to read this. You get a good laugh. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, signed into law by the President on July 21, 2010, put in place safer and more modern rules of the road for the financial industry. Okay, now, bear in mind, okay, July 21st, 2010. Anybody remember MF Global? Okay, the largest FCM. Okay, MF Global. All right, failed on Halloween. Okay, October 31st of 2011. Okay, now I'm going to reread this. Okay, how many billions are missing? Well, 1.6 is the latest estimate. Okay, of customer money. This is not supposed to be segregated with firm monies. Okay, I'm going to read this again now. Okay, feel the outrage. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, signed into law by the President on July 21, 2010, put in place safer and more modern rules of the road for the financial industry. That's priceless. MF Global failed on October 31st, 2011. Knowing this, Geithner pens an op-ed saying this? Well, okay. I'll read a little bit more from the op-ed. President Obama, along with Senator Christopher Dodd and Representative Barney Frank, deserve enormous credit for pushing for tough reforms. All right, now we're going to kind of put that aside, and we're going to talk a little bit about Barney Frank and Christopher Dodd. Okay, courtesy of Wikipedia. Okay, I pulled the Community Reinvestment Act. Okay, Christopher Dodd and Barney Frank's hands are all over this. Okay, this resulted in subprime lending. Okay, and to be fair, it's not all on Dodd and Frank, although a lot of it is. Okay, the original Community Reinvestment Act was signed into law in 1977. Okay, it's a United States federal law designed to encourage commercial banks and savings institutions to help meet the needs of borrowers in all segments of their communities, including low and moderate income neighborhoods. Congress passed the act in 1977 to reduce discriminatory lending practices against low-income neighborhoods, a practice known as redlining. Now, that's the intent there is admirable. Don't get me wrong; it truly is. So I'm not attacking that part. the concept behind this act. Okay, what I'm going to attack is subsequent amendments to the act. Okay, here, 1989, the Financial Institutions Reform, Recovery, and Enforcement Act were signed into law by George H.W. Bush. Okay, and the subsequent reform here was, and check this out, according to Ben Bernanke, this law greatly increased the ability of advocacy groups, researchers, and other analysts to perform more sophisticated quantitative analysis of banks' records, thereby influencing the lending policies of banks. Over time, community groups and nonprofit organizations established more formalized and more productive partnerships with banks. Okay, now in 1999, Christopher Dodd, Barney Frank, and Charles E. Schumer, okay, amended this law, okay, by agreeing to amend the Federal Deposit Insurance Act to allow banks to merge or expand into other types of financial institutions. The new Graham-Leach-Bliley Act provide many provisions, along with the addition of subsection 6 or whatever, ensured any bank holding institution wishing to be redesignated as a financial holding institution by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System would also have to follow the Community Reinvestment Act compliance guidelines before any merger or expansion could take place. In other words, the banks were penalized if they did not go along and make subprime loans. Okay, again, the intent here is admirable. All right, the economic reality is a disaster in the making. Okay, the underlying premise here was that real estate was going to continue basically going up in value about 3% every year. Okay, it's a bubble. All right, but so when the real estate market falls out of bed, what happens to all the securitized loans, all the mortgage-backed securities that were written on that pool of housing, of real estate? Okay, it is a disaster in the making.
Let me call you back in 2. All right, thanks.
Sorry. Got him?
Archer 10.
Thank you. Okay, all right, in 2007, Ben Bernanke further suggested that increasing the presence of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in the affordable housing market would help banks fulfill their CRA, the Community Reinvestment Act, obligations by providing them with more opportunities to securitize CRA-related loans. Okay, in April 15th of 2008, an FDIC official told the same committee that the FDIC was exploring offering incentives for banks to offer low-cost alternatives to payday loans. Okay, so let's go back to TurboTax's op-ed. President Obama, along with Senator Chris Dodd and Barney Frank, deserve enormous credit for pushing for tough reforms quickly. All right, now again, these reforms were signed into law July 21st, 2010. Do I have to remind you about MF Global again? Halloween of 2011? All right, and so you've got the same suspects, the usual list of suspects. These guys created the problem. Wall Street ran with it. All right, their salesmen are that good. They could sell, ice to an Eskimo. All right, so basically they securitized all these subprime loans. Okay, that were floated on terms like 125% loan to value. Okay, say you want to borrow $100,000 to buy a house. I'm going to give you $125 just because I like you. Okay. All of a sudden, that house appraises at $60,000. Who's going to make up the difference? So Wall Street took these CDOs, these collateralized debt obligations, sold them to the world. Every bank, the Norwegian teachers' retirement system, even owned like $100 million in these obligations that soon blew up. This is the cause of the crisis that we're now in my humble opinion. Okay, and now, so the austerity measures. How much time here? I'm being told by young Ted Slope that I'm getting a little long-winded, so I'm going to wrap this one up. But I do have a lot to talk about here. Okay, and hey, by the way, I appreciate you guys coming back. See, I thought you liked me just because I was with MF. Anyways, if you would like to give me a call, please feel free to do so. My toll-free is 888-935-7979, or you can email me at jim.comiskey, C-O-M-I-S-K-E-Y, at archerfinancials.com, or just leave comments. I'm going to start commenting to your comments. Let's light it up, guys. I really appreciate your loyalty here. We're going to have some fun with this, okay? Gloves are off. That's all I got. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Please leave some comments. We'll have some fun with this.